There came a time when we had a congregational meeting. About 40 people came on an evening to find out, what is this gay ministry and why are you doing this? And the voice of the evening was a voice from the St. Paul's Church. And St. Paul's had begun working on racial integration in 1953. So a long history. So when it came to the consolidation of those two churches, St. Paul's brought a community that was half and half black and white members to this new connection. And that evening tempers were flaring and people were saying, why don't you go to some other church and take it over, or go and, care for your own someplace else, was the sort of the tenor of things. And you could feel the tension rising until a woman who we called Grandma Luella, an African-American woman who had grown up in Arkansas. She and I had a close connection because I grew up in Louisiana and Mississippi, so we could talk Southern together. But Grandma Luella got up with her cane and she said, I don't know the answer about homosexuality, but I do know what it's like to be excluded from the church, and I won't be a part of that again. And it was as though the Spirit had spoken and fallen over us, and the calmness then with which the conversations continued is one example of a congregation figuring out how to be welcoming, because it could connect one story of exclusion to another. So the stories of exclusion and being in exile and back again to inclusion, I think, is what our scriptures are about, and it's what our congregation has been about, of saying that we don't want anyone to be excluded. And how we make that happen is a whole nother challenge.